Hi everyone, I am Praveen Shetty and I am here to discuss part 2 of Money Madness. In my last presentation, I discussed part 1 of Money Madness and I also introduced you to the poem. In this presentation, I will be looking at part 2 with some MCQs. The learning objective of this session is to analyze the second part of the poem, and at the end of the session, the student should be able to explain and interpret the poem. In the first part, I said that money madness is rampant everywhere, it is seen everywhere, and almost everyone is suffering from it. And we also saw that money has made us its slaves. So it has become a master, and we have become its slaves. And the rich get the power when they have money, and what about the poor? And if they have no money, what is the problem that is described in these three lines? And he says, and if I have no money, they will give me a little bread so that so I do not die, but they will make me eat dirt with it. So here I, first person, refers to the poor person who has no money. And if I have no money, they means the rich, will give me a little bread. So if I have no money, if I have no wealth, or if I have no food, they will give me little bread. And with that little bread, the poor man survives. He will not die, but he continues to suffer. If he dies, his suffering would end, but he is not allowed to die because he is made to suffer by the rich. So they will make me eat dirt with it. It means that he's given food, and he's made to survive, and he survives to suffer. So eating dirt with it refers to, I mean, the poor man. He suffers the pain, and that is the purpose. So the purpose of helping the poor is not to end his shameful life, but to continue his suffering. Then he says, I shall have to eat dirt. I here again refers to the poor man. He has to eat dirt, he has to suffer. I shall have to eat dirt. Again, that line or that phrase is repeated, and it is repeated to emphasize that a poor man who has no money has to suffer. It is that I am frightened of. The speaker is, the poet is frightened of this suffering, or this pain, or this helpless situation of the poor man. And that fear can become a delirium. It is fear of my money mad fellow men. So it is a fear of my money mad fellow men. So here the speaker is talking about delirium. Delirium is a mental disorder, and a poor man who is made to suffer, he feels the fear. He has that fear, and that fear turns into a mental disorder or delirium. So it is fear of my money mad fellow men. So this poor man has to suffer mental disorder because he cannot suffer, or he cannot accept the shame anymore. We must have some money to save us from eating dirt, and this is all wrong. So the speaker says that we can get rid of this problem if we have money, or if we have wealth, if we have food, and only money can save people from eating dirt. So, and if this continues, this is all wrong. So if poor people have to suffer because they have no money, then all this is wrong, according to the speaker. And the speaker, the poet here suggests something. What does he suggest? He says bread should be free, shelter should be free, fire should be free to all and anybody, all over the world. That means poor people should be given, if they do not have money, they should be given food freely, they should be given houses, shelter freely, then they should be given fuel which can be used, or firewood which can be used at their homes freely, so that they can live a peaceful life. And this can be given to all and anybody. That means to everyone in the world. All and anybody is repeated here to emphasize that fact. So we know that in today's world we can see that a lot of poor people are given some of these basic needs free of cost by our governments. So the poet says that we must regain our sanity about money. So D.H. Lawrence, he suggested this solution some 100 years back. So he was, you can see his vision. He expected that this gap between the poor and the rich can lead to lots of problems. So that's why at the end he concludes by saying that we should regain our sanity about money. So if you want to be a prosperous society, if you want to be a good society, we should get back our sanity, or we should think about money. We should not run behind it. We should not become slaves of it before we start killing one another about it. So if you do not regain our sanity, or if you do not give importance to money that it deserves, then we may start killing each other. So it may end up in violence. Poor people may attack the rich for money or for their basic needs, and this is going to happen. Either this is going to happen or that is going to happen. It is one thing or the other. That means we are either going to prosper or we are going to end in anarchical state of affairs, or we are going to have lots of violence and killing. These are the references, and here are some MCQs. A man without money is given little bread, not to help himself, not to save himself from shameful life, or not to make him rich, but he's given bread to continue his shameful life. Then what does a man without money fear? He does not fear rich, or he doesn't fear darkness or politicians. He fears the shame. The poet fears that fear of the poor can develop into a delirium, and delirium means not mental order or mental ability or mental stability. It is mental disorder. Why does the poet say we must have some money? And it is to get food, shelter and fire, and all the three answers are right. Finally, according to the speaker, how can we save ourselves from this situation? So we should regain our sanity and not respect or honor or madness. I hope this session is useful to you. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day.